Okay, it's a pleasure for me to be here and invited by Jamie Parker to visit the Parliament and to see how the Greens are working. And we had the tour before he showed us the Parliament and the chambers, chambers of deputies and the Senate. And it's quite impressive. The building is very old from the beginning when the states started to work here, and now we are in the office of Jamie. We're sitting here and discussing about the green issues. So exciting this exchange with the Greens from the other side of the earth, we can say, South Hemisphere. But it seems that Greens here are very involved in the politics and the society, and also they got success. And they're inspiring us in Romania to get success for the next elections. And Jimmy, please tell us a few words about the Green family here and what were the main issues of the Greens, Australian Greens, what they're let's say interested to solve, what are the main focus of problems, environmental problems here, social issues.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for coming. It's wonderful to see you come from the other side of the world to here in Sydney, Australia. My name's Jamie Parker and we're here in the Parliament in Sydney, and we've just had a look around. And here in this state of New South Wales and in Australia, the Greens have representatives in local councils, mayors, state parliaments, and also federally in our federal parliament. And the Greens have different focuses depending on where they are, country, city, but one of our major objectives at the moment is addressing the issue of climate change. And Australia, as you know, is an enormous exporter of really carbon intensive minerals, coal in particular and gas. And so we're working very hard to make Australia a leader, supporting initiatives to reduce the impact on our global climate. Also nature and the protection of our really special wildlife, flora and fauna here in Australia, from land clearing and degradation and destruction is very important. And of course there's also social justice issues. Justice for our First Nations people, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who have been treated so badly for so many generations. But as well as that, reducing inequality and making sure that our country is a place where whether you're rich or poor, you can fully participate in our community as a citizen and everyone is respected. So lots of different issues in our community here in my electorate where I am. There's issues in particular around the things that everyone thinks about, public transport, the state of healthcare, all these things. As a person that represents a community, I'm here to look at all of those issues. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming. It's been really interesting. And I look forward for some Australians to come to Romania sometime in the future.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Maybe you, in this future close time, you'll be able to come in Romania. We are waiting for you, let's say.
Thank you.
And we realize that all the Greens all around the globe, we have the common issues. We have to protect the environment, and we are talking here about the pollution mainly of the soil, air, and water. Yes, it's a big problem here with the pollution of water.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the important things is making sure that we Greens, we are a check against corruption, against the abuse of power. That is so important because you can't have good public policy if you have corruption or if you have people that are abusing their power. So what's really important, and one of the main roles that I have been doing, is working in the anti-corruption area.
Yeah, it's right.
It's very important.
Corruption and environment pollution they are very linked. Where is the corruption? That means is problematic. There are problematic issues about the environmental and the social and health and all the domains.
That's it.
Yeah, we are facing this also in Romania. The corruption is, in a way, we consider this a huge at every level. You know, Romania just passed from the communist time in 1990s to the so-called economy market, and so liberal. We in 2007 we joined the European Union. We are full member of the European Union. Now we are facing also the the war in Ukraine, which is also affecting us because Ukraine is a neighbor of north of our country. We are hosting a lot of refugees in Romania. I think around 300,000 Ukrainian people which are hosting, living now in a way in Romania, maybe to set up or to work to like in transit. But anyway, it's very hard there for them. We are very let's say welcome to them, and personally and also the Greens we are helping the Ukrainian people. We are in touch with the Green in Ukraine.
Right.
Yeah, we have very close relation with the Ukrainian Green Party. The problem is a big problem in Europe now, especially in the east part of Europe, because the war started by Putin against Ukraine. It's terrible. It's happening. It's threatening the life and humanity in Ukraine, and it's affecting also the Romania, Poland, and other countries. Now we became more militarized. So many army now. I mean, yes, it's not a fair situation. It's not a well situation now. It's happening regarding the population doesn't feel this exactly. Doesn't feel the war, but think about that few hundred kilometers from Bucharest, for example. They are bombing. There are a lot of. I mean, it's happening now. This war. So we want to be more conscious about this happening because it's a threat for Europe and
of course the whole world.
Because as you know, Putin also now warned the Europe with a nuclear weapon.
Yes.
Yeah, and so it's
and even here in Australia, we realise how important it is to maintain a rules-based system. You don't invade other countries. You know, it doesn't matter where you are. That is something which is absolutely unacceptable. And so even here in Australia, the Australian government has been supportive of Ukraine, and we Greens who are always focused on peace and trying to focus on negotiation and finding solutions rather than kind of military power. It's very important this is resolved, not only for the people of the Ukraine, but for the people of the region and the world.
Yes, I know. In Australia came a lot of Ukrainian people.
That's right. That's right. A lot of Ukraine, even in my electorate, a lot of Ukrainians are coming to my electorate and speaking with me about what we can do to support them.
So, but in Romania, regarding out of this problem of the Ukrainian issue, let's say you have problems with the politicians. We have a political class which is not caring. I mean, they are not aware about what's happening with the population. I mean, the social issues. They are more out of their needs.
Yes.
Yes. So there is a sentiment of the population. They feel they are not. They are neglected by the politicians, and the main parties. They are doing the same. They switch each other from 1993 when the first parliament, 1991 when the first parliament was set up after the communist time, and now there is a need of the change of political life in Romania, and we the Greens we consider the wave of the change.
Well, that's the great thing about the Greens. Romania. You know, in the same way that those old parties neglect the environment, you know, they neglect ethical government and they neglect people. And the great thing about the Greens and the wave of Greens throughout Europe and here in Australia is we're really community focused, and we are people, and I'm sure that the Romanian Greens are doing the same, is really pressing for a different type of politics that listens to people, that cares for nature.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much for this meeting.
I really appreciate it.
If you want to say a few words, a welcome message to our members and to the Romanians, which will see this video.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone to Parliament here in Sydney, Australia. I want to say a big hello to everyone involved in the Greens in Romania and all Romanians who are watching. It's just so fabulous what the Greens are doing in your country. There's so much opportunity, there's so much importance behind the Greens message. I want to thank you for coming and seeing us here, and I want to acknowledge all the work the Romanian Greens are doing. Go well, and I wish you all the best of luck.